What's up, YouTube? YugiohTube discussing my personal set of the year of 2022. That's right, Magnificent Mavens. The set that came out during the holidays of last year, not long ago, is already making strides and making waves on the resale market. Supply is dwindling. Prices are rising. Let's explain why this is happening. Let's explain the long-term future of the set in my personal opinion, and also why I think it still can continue to keep going up and up and up. There are 3 reasons why I think this set has done well, and it will continue to do well, so stay tuned with this video.
In a world full of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, grading, selling, buying, one card game remains supreme. One man has the insights you need to know. Watch and subscribe now. YugiohTube.
Well, first of all, before I get to explaining all of these reasons, I just want to let you know I am not responsible for any decisions or financial decisions you may or may not make. I'm just here expressing my opinion on a product, so make your own decisions with your own information. With that said and out of the way, the first reason why I think this set is just a home run and it's going to continue to go up is, simply put, the checklist. It's a huge checklist, and more importantly, the Pharaoh's rares. We didn't know when this product came out if the Pharaoh's rares were going to be 1 per box, 1 per pack. We had no idea, but it turned out that Pharaoh's rares, I've heard, are between 1 to 2 cases. That's right, you can buy an entire 4-box case of Mama and not hit a Pharaoh's rare. Most people I've talked to said they've been seated at around 1 to 1.5 cases, which means you're looking at about 1 in 6 boxes to hit that Pharaoh's rare. So some cases may have none, some cases may have 2. Majority of 2 cases that you order, so 8 boxes total, you should on average get 1 or so. So with that said, the Pharaoh's rares as a result are hitting huge dollar signs. Dark Magician Girl leading the way, but not only that, there's so many other nostalgic ones as well. 18 different Pharaoh's rares in the set. That's right, 18 different. 12 of them are old school cards exclusively as Pharaoh's rares. 6 of them are Ultra/Pharaoh's rares. So you have 2 options for 6 of the 18. For 12 of the 18, they exist exclusively as just Pharaoh's rare. Why is this important? Why are we even talking about this? Well, the reason we are is because there simply is a chase, okay? When you have something to chase, that's always a good thing. When you have 18 different cards in the set to chase, so the odds of hitting, let's say, are 1 in 6 boxes on average. So now, in order to get all 18 Pharaoh's rares, you're going to have to open, what, 6 times 18? 108 different boxes on average. And that's if you hit 1 of every specific different Pharaoh's rares, which you're not going to do. Needless to say, if you want to complete this set, you have to open an extreme amount of boxes, almost an impossible amount of boxes, and as a result, the singles prices for people who are set collectors or are Pharaoh's rares collectors are going way up and skyrocketing, and honestly, might be considered a little bit undervalued at this point. Secondly, Pharaoh's rares do look cool. The foil on them, they look like hieroglyphics on a card. I mean, how cool is that? It's the first time we've seen something like that. It's been in the OCG in Japan for quite a while, but when you see these cards in person, you really enjoy them. They're not all that easy to grade either, which adds a little bit more of a chase to it. So if you want that PSA 10, depending on the card, I'd say on average a PSA 10 is just under 50%, maybe towards that 35-40% area. Some cards still in the set do not have PSA 10s. I think Mirror Force does not have a PSA 10 yet. But other cards like Dark Magician Girl, I'd say we're about half or a 50% gem rate. So nonetheless, you still have a tough chase because some of these cards still had some scratches coming out of the factory, which adds more future potential value into this set. So when the set checklist is good, the card list is good, and there is a natural organic demand for the set, that's the first thing we're looking for, and that definitely checks several boxes. Number 2, everybody. Number 2 is about the supply of this set, the supply of Mama or Magnificent Mavens. If you notice right now at Target.com and BestBuy.com, they are still selling mini boxes. If you notice, though, about the 5-box displays in the U.S., they're out. They're totally gone. I'm hearing distributors and wholesalers no longer getting this is out of print. I'm not sure about Canada. That's the only region in the North American region that may still be getting them in. I'm not 100% sure about that, but from everything I hear, the U.S. distributors, you can't buy it anymore at distributor costs or price or anything like that. And as a result, you go to TCG Player, look at the box prices. $135 is the minimum. And at $135, they're selling, and they're selling quickly. You look every day, there's more and more sales happening, which is a huge sign of growth that, hey, even at $135, they're still selling like hotcakes. So we haven't hit that price or that equilibrium price where sales start to slow down and prices kind of stabilize. At this point, even at the higher prices, there are still continued sales ongoing every day on TCG Player, every day on eBay, and that should continue until there comes to a point where people are just not going to pay that cost of a box anymore. In my personal opinion, I still think there's a lot of meat on the bone left at $135 and beyond. Now, let's also keep in mind, this set was a, quote, holiday box from Konami. So a lot of people probably looked at holiday box and they said, this is going to be a piece of steaming garbage. And what happened? For once, one of these holiday boxes turned out to be really, really good. Now, also keep in mind, if you are a store or a wholesaler, whatever it might be, you have to place those orders supposedly months in advance. So when you look and you're looking at this product called Magnificent Mavens Holiday Box, you're probably thinking, oh, and it comes with sleeves. You're probably thinking, oh, this is a bunch of crap, okay? It's just going to be a bunch of reprints or common cards. When you're making that original first order, you don't know anything about the product. You just know the product name. You just see Magnificent Mavens Holiday Box. They're like, it's just kind of a gimmicky holiday box. It'll probably be for the kiddos at the Walmarts and Targets. It'll be pretty poor product. So looking at that, right, most likely a lot of big sharks did not get a lot of big orders for this. As a result, naturally, Konami's not going to make a ton of these boxes, right, because there isn't that natural demand out of the gate when no one knew what this set was about. And as a result, they didn't print it to oblivion like we saw a little bit with Ghosts from the Past 1 and especially Ghosts from the Past 2. Konami knew those were home run sets. Distributors, wholesalers, sellers knew those would be huge sets. As a result, the pre-orders, they locked them in very early because they knew Ghosts from the Past. Oh, Ghost Rares might be returning. Let's throw our money at it at Magnificent Mavens Holiday Box. Who the heck knows what the heck this is? And as a result, I don't think they got a big rush of initial orders, Konami. And as a result, they just didn't produce much of it for the wholesale, retail kind of side of things. Now, again, once those Target and Best Buy product pages dissipate, right? We don't know when that could be. That could be a year. That could be 6 months. That could be 1 month. We have no idea. But when those do dissipate, if Konami really takes this out of print, that's when prices are going to go absolutely bananas, in my opinion, because now you don't even have a retail side of things selling mini boxes at $23, $24, $25 the box. That's when you have huge potential for stuff to absolutely explode. Now, it remains to be seen if Konami will keep printing these and sending them out to Targets and Walmarts. We don't know. More than likely, what could happen is when that first edition run runs out, Konami might say, hey, Target, Walmart, we got more Mama coming in. It's going to be unlimited. And they'll say, sure. And if there's an unlimited print, which could last for literal years, like we saw with Master Collections and all that stuff, or Legendary Collections and all that stuff, yeah, that's great. There's unlimited on the market, but what does that do to the first edition run? That's still going to raise the value of a first edition run of Mama, because let's be honest, collectors want that first edition. So in terms of reprinting, it's hard to imagine Konami, after a first edition run of this, would go and keep printing first edition again. Possible, sure, you never know with Konami, but let's look at the supply, and look, they made first edition for a reason, right? Right now, all that's out there is first edition. Since the set was so popular, it is possible Konami goes back and say, all right, we're doing an unlimited run of this, which again, should not affect the first edition all that much at all. If anything, sometimes it does make the first edition even more coveted. So we'll have to see about that. One final thing before I let you guys go is the boxes themselves. And a lot of people don't really think of this. The boxes themselves are massive, like in terms of size. Okay, so that's another thing. They are huge, these boxes, which means a lot of the big sharks are going to look at these boxes. And the size of the 4-box cases, I mean, they're massive. You could fit a 12-box case of a booster box for the same, size as a 4-box case of a mama case. As a result, a lot of these people do not want to be sitting on this stuff, right? A lot of these big sharks and whales do not want to waste storage space in their storage units, in their factories, in their warehouses. They don't want to waste all of that space because space is money. So naturally, they're going to look at the size of these boxes and say, oh, they're hitting a certain price. It's time to sell them off. We made our money. We're going to sell them off. And what does that mean for the rest of the market? Not much supply out there for anybody else. I mean, if they're selling it all off, they don't want to keep those large costs of space because those boxes are so huge. Think of Duelist Saga. Yeah, then that means very good things for Mama going forward if you can somehow store those huge boxes in wherever you have storage available. That's an interesting prospect as well that a lot of people don't think about. The fact that these boxes themselves just naturally are huge boxes, major, huge boxes, it tells me that a lot of people might not want to be wasting space with those big boxes and want to keep something smaller instead. And as a result, I think you'd see more selling of those boxes, which means less boxes overall long-term on the market. Because a lot of the whales don't want to waste the storage space. So that is one last very important thing to note, because we saw it with Duelist Saga a little bit. Those are huge boxes as well. And what happened with those, those absolutely skyrocketed here as well. And I don't think the production was high on that. Now, obviously, the demand for Duelist Saga wasn't the same as Mama, which means Mama actually even has more potential, in my opinion, than Duelist Saga. And the fact that it is a holiday box, quote, holiday box, to me tells me they're not printing this thing to oblivion. But again, with Konami, you never know. Take it with a grain of salt. I hope this video helped instill some thought-provoking items into your mind. I don't know. I think Mama is a great set. I think Ghost from the Past 1 and 2, tremendous sets, but very high supply. I think Mama, a great set with a very low supply. So right now, that's why you're seeing that spike going on, and a natural nice spike of Mama, and we'll have to see where it goes from here. But I think long term, it's going to be one of those great modern sets, like a Toon Chaos or something we've seen, or even you see Duelist Saga. Those boxes in what, 300 a box, something crazy. I'm not saying you're going to see that with Mama anytime soon, but I could see the realm of 200 down the line at some point. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Do you like Mama? Do you like Pharaoh's Rare? What do you think? Do you think this set is going to kind of fizzle out, die out? Will it be reprinted, unlimited, first edition? Until next time, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell button. Until next time, YugiohTube signing out.